Hey, hi guys, welcome back. All right, so let's jump into our first singles read of the week. You know, I do these on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. So let's see what we've got for this single storyline. These are some of my most favorite ones because they're always super broad. We don't talk about exes here. We've got a Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Speaking of not talking about exes, this is also like, I'm not given where I'm not getting anything in return. This is an awareness of something that's been imbalanced, possibly, and it's just good when we put things into perspective. This could be somebody asking, "Hey, am I actually sleeping enough every night? Am I getting enough rest for the tasks that I have to perform in the daytime?" Ooh, okay, hold on. We got cards that went to my left. We got Ace of Swords, and we got cards that went to my right. And that was two of them on this side. No, excuse me, three. The Devil in the reverse, the Ace of Cups in the reverse, and the Knight of Swords in the reverse. My. So on either side of what is not balanced, we've got like a sharp awareness that it's time to cut something off, because what I would say is somebody weighed things and they said, okay, what do I really think is the truth? How do I see something clearly in regards to why do I think something is unfair? What is it that I think is unfair? What's not leveling out for me? Well, am I being really truthful and really honest? Do I want to deal with this anymore? And on the other side, the person said, well, even if something is not really toxic anymore, do I love it? Do I want it? Do I want to move toward it? In this case, we would say no. Even this is almost like somebody who is saying, all right, say I had an argument with somebody and we were really at a stalemate and they really showed me an ugly side of themselves. You know, this could be non-romantic, this could have been romantic, whatever it was. Even though now maybe somebody is out of that energy flow, like maybe this is somebody who was doing toxic stuff, you know, and lots of times great people can go down a road where it's just like they get lost sometimes, you know, and then they do some hurtful things. This could be that maybe somebody got themselves addicted on something and so the addiction took over. Well, now someone could have cleaned that part up. You know, they're not trapped in an addiction. But still, do we want to offer our cup, or do we want to accept an offer that they're making to us? Just because somebody cleans up their act, which kudos to anybody out there, and we all falter and we all make mistakes and then we all, you know, try to clean stuff up and do better, right? So that is wonderful. No matter what, it's wonderful if somebody like gets out of toxic energy. But just because they get out of toxic energy does not give anybody a free pass to waltz back into our lives. And now we are required to accept their love offer and to give them our love in return, or to even have conversation. You know, there are things where we go, honestly, I'm happy for them, but I don't want to talk to them anymore. And I don't want to give to this anymore. And I feel like that's somebody's awareness. It doesn't matter what the situation was. It doesn't matter. It's not to punish. It's not intended to be hurtful. It simply is, yes, but good for them. I mean, it's great. But do I feel like giving to this? And the bottom line is we've got a lead character saying, I don't want to give to this. I actually want to cut this off. Maybe once upon a time, you know, I didn't feel that way, but now I do. Like enough time has passed. I'm healed from this myself. I don't need this anymore. This could be friendship that went awry. This could be anything. I'm done with it. And this could also be one person saying, wow, I'm not toxic myself anymore. I no longer am like trying to give my love or trying to communicate with somebody that I feel like I'm chasing. No, I'm aware that I didn't get anything back, and I can see that clearly, so I can cut myself free, cut myself loose. There's a lot to be said for just simply being truthful about what do I really want, because it's a drag if we're trying to force ourselves to either like, you know, walk around and say, okay, well, now this person wants to come talk to me, so I'm going to have to let them. No, we don't have to let anybody come talk to us. We don't have to accept an apology. And again, it's not to be mean. It's not to be rude. It's just simply, I've moved on. I've moved beyond this. Whatever our issues were, whatever beef I had with my former bestie, I don't need him to come in now and say, hey, I'm sorry that I stole from you or something, back when I was having a really tough time and I was addicted to something, it's okay that that happened, but I don't really need to rehash it. And I don't really need to be the recipient of anybody's words that I don't need to hear just so they can feel better. I mean, that's what it looks like to me, is this is just somebody simply saying, but I've already moved on from it. 8 of Swords. Okay, then why do we have stuck energy? Somebody's moved on from something, but we do have stuck energy somewhere. So let's see what that's about. We got a Queen of Swords upright. We got a 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. I gotta say, even though this is a single storyline, it really seems like somebody really is stuck because they have high respect for our lead character. Our lead character, they view as a Queen of Swords. They view as somebody who is super honest, someone who, it's like if someone has disappointed you at some point, I don't know if it was about romance or if it was friendship or, heck, even a kid to a parent, there is something where it's like, but there's a high level of respect. And I feel like this person really, they want to apologize for crossing a boundary with someone who deserved to be more respected. The thing is, we've got this 5 of Pentacles in the reverse saying, and she's saying, no, I understand that you want to say that you're sorry for crossing my boundaries, but you crossing boundaries didn't leave me broken and wounded. The reason there are boundaries that I place is because once you've crossed a line, it's my duty to help you learn a lesson, which is you can't come back here now. No, we don't need to discuss again. No, you don't. You're missing the point. You don't get to feel bad like, oh, I'm sorry if I hurt you and disrespected you. What you learned was a boundary with me. And so that our lead character was teaching somebody a boundary, and even them not permitting someone to come back in to make apologies or do whatever they need to so they can feel better is also an example of this lead character having boundaries. Doesn't matter that you're sorry. I placed a boundary there, and you have to respect that boundary as well. Even the boundary that says, no, I'm not going to converse with you again. You simply, like, we've already moved on. I've already placed the boundary up. You crossed me once, which is why I had to put the boundary in place. And now I'm not hurting for you to come back in and say sorry. You simply can't trespass again. So I kind of feel like this is like our lead character has truly moved on from something, really and truly. Someone else is still very hooked on the fact that they mistreated our lead character, but our lead character has so much self-worth and self-confidence. It's like, I'm not the one who needs your apologies. Your bad behavior didn't impact me. It only impacted you. And I feel like that's like a really, it's such an impactful thing, because it's like, you want to come in and alleviate your own guilt over something, but that would again impose on me, because now I have to listen to you say you're sorry. I don't need your sorries. You got a cause and effect reaction. You did something that wasn't nice, which is why you're not in my life. And that's how that goes now. You just have to deal with the consequences. I don't need to give you an audience and let you come in and try to make amends so that you can feel better, because that's not the way this works. You simply learned about boundaries with me, and I'm okay teaching people about boundaries. This Queen of Swords is in the upright. She's not doing anything to be mean. She is not vindictive. She is not telling somebody anything mean. In fact, I think she's just being silent about it. 7 of Swords in the reverse. She will not lie to this person. This is a situation where she's got a very definite, like, oh no, there's no more discussion. This is like, there isn't anything to chit chat about. It simply is a boundary, and I'm not open to any more dialogue here. Okay. So we have a person who has been faced with an individual who wants to come in to say sorry, and it's not rejecting their apology. It's that I don't feel like answering. I don't feel like communicating with this person. This could be an individual who is trying to come in to have, who's asked, may I speak with you? And I think that our lead character is actually saying, I'm not even going to respond to their question of can they speak with me, because my silence will speak the truth. But this person was thoughtful about it first. They said to themselves, okay, should I should I communicate with this person? Should I say, okay, I'll hear you out? And then our character said, but I don't, if they're better and healed, that's awesome for them. I'm happy for them, but it doesn't change my decision. And it doesn't, I don't feel like I want to communicate with them. And it's, maybe this person did something that was heinous, or maybe it was, this person just simply is someone that this queen says, I just, my life is fine without their energy in it, and so I'm not in need of a conversation, a closure, any form of dialogue. That's what I would say. Somebody does not need closure. The other person is hooked, thinking that they need to give closure because they feel like they trespassed on this queen. But what they don't understand is that it's kind of impossible to trespass on a queen like that, because if you make a misstep, she simply closes the door. It's like, oh no, we don't do that if you're in my home. So you trespass and you're shut off. That's it. It's that simple. It's exactly how I run my channel. Somebody says something nasty, I don't discuss. I just close the door. It's just a quick little block. It's no big deal. But there are, things that are just rude, and of course I'm not going to discuss. Why would I? It's just, anybody knows where polite behavior ends, and that's where my channel doesn't support impolite conversation. I feel like I'm putting it in that context. By the way, you guys, thank you for your wonderful messages, because like 99.99% of you are the most incredible, loving, thoughtful, thought-provoking comments, just awesome. And then there's just that little percentage where, they cuss me out or something. And it's like, well, of course I'm not going to bother to have dialogue with that. Why would I? That's not anything to have dialogue about. And there isn't any, it doesn't hurt my feelings one little bit. It's their bad behavior. They can't be here. That's just not how you behave. But it's interesting. I'm sorry, I'm putting it in that context, not to talk about, bad behavior about in my world, but rather to make a tangible explanation of that queen operates like, it doesn't bother me, but doesn't mean you get to come back in either. That's just not the way that's going to flow. Well, whoever this is feeling pretty darn bad about it, though, with that 5 of Cups. We've got a person who really regrets. Why is this showing up? Why is this showing up so much? I mean, because our queen is very comfortable in their choices. And yet we keep seeing this regret on someone's side. Where'd that card go? There it is. The Hermit in the reverse. This person has done a lot of silent soul searching. This person has done a lot of thought-provoking, why did I behave that way? They really want to talk now. There's been a great deal of silence for a long time, and somebody really wants to talk. Because somebody is different now. With the Hermit in the reverse, could be Virgo energy. The Sun in the reverse. It's almost like someone is saying, I can't be, I have so much regret over the way I behaved that it's like almost for their conscience that they need to get this off their chest. So, and let's say it this way, we can be both characters in our lifetime. Sometimes we're going to be the one who messes up really bad, and it bothers us so much that we did something that was absolutely not okay. And there's no question about it. And it's like, even if someone won't accept my apology, I just have to let them know that I see it so differently now. My behavior, what I exhibited before, that is just not who I want to be. And for me to really move forward into the person I've become, I really have to own the things that I did. This is someone who, it's like their life is getting better now, but this is something that they have so many regrets over, that they need to express this, because who they are today is someone who's accountable. So the reason I'm saying we can play both roles in our lifetime, we can sometimes be the queen who goes, oh no, I'm so done. I don't need to hear anything from that person. And I'm not mad at them. It's just, that's who they are. That's what they did. And then there's times in our lives where we are the person who does something that we're like, oh my God, I have to explain to somebody that's not who I am, or that's not who I am anymore. And for me to really be the person that I am today, I have to take accountability for this. And I almost feel like the fact that we're seeing this play out, it's like, it reminds us, What do we do when we're either of those characters, right? What is the right choice for either character? It all depends, right? It all depends on we can't expect someone else to receive more conversation from us if we've hurt them. We also, when we've changed and we feel the need to show how much we've changed, we're going to have to make peace with some things, even things that if we've done something wrong, no matter how much we desperately want to talk to that person, we may not get to. There are certain things where the way we make amends, if someone will not hear us out, we may have to find a creative way to either display that we've changed or make peace with it in ourselves. So I feel like this storyline is very much about moving on and forgiving, but sometimes it's about forgiving ourselves. It's also knowing that we're going to make mistakes of our own in this lifetime. So hold on. What is the purpose of this story? I don't know. This is about forgiveness. It's about how we move onward. It's about how we do change and grow. It's about boundaries, but it's also about, rigid boundaries don't allow for growth for anyone. So it's great to have boundaries, but then what if, let's put it back in context for my channel, right? If somebody writes me something nasty, I don't discuss with them, right? I just block them. Now, if they ever write me a letter privately to say, I'm sorry, I know that I really said something rotten, I always respond to people. If they reach out to me privately to say, I apologize, blah, 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 because I actually keep track of the kind of messages that come in because they are very harassing and there's lots of there's stuff you can't imagine that happens. But I feel like maybe that's the kind of thing, like I'm not going to roll around in the mud and, exchange words with anybody. But if somebody has time and they think about something that they did and then they come back in and try to reach out and say, I apologize, blah, blah, blah. I will, of course, always hear somebody out and give them a pass or, whatever it is, but and allow them back on the channel too. Anybody can have a bad day. Anybody can just shoot something off of the mouth that's just not nice. And so of course everybody can be given grace. Now, easy to say when it's something as simple as just a weird comment on online. Not everything in life can we give passes for, right? There are boundaries that get crossed and there's no uncrossing. But this storyline is, it's about, with the 10 of Pentacles, it's about what brings us the greatest growth, the greatest satisfaction, and the greatest harmony. 10 of Pentacles is about abundance. This has a lot to do sometimes with family. So this could have been an issue with family members where somebody really got hurt by another family member. Heck, this could be somebody was, going down the wrong path. They wound up stealing from a family member. Now that family member is like, that's fine, but you can't come over to my house anymore. And this person is like, I'm reformed. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not in an addiction. I'm not going to steal from you anymore. And I just need to tell you how much I'm sorry that I disrespected you. And it's like, this could be one of those situations where, someone really truly wants to show that they have changed because they are striving to have a full-on, a life of growth. And so this is really nice because it just poses a question for both characters. What helps each section or each person's life grow the most? This 5 of Swords literally just dropped out. It didn't shuffle and pop out the way I usually prefer cards to. It just dropped and I actually caught it with my pinky. Where do we still have areas of blockages? Where is there still a lack of communication? Now, we could argue this in 2 ways. If someone really wants to say that they're sorry for something that they've done, this Queen of Swords could be rejecting it because it's like, no, my life is really good. I'm afraid to let you back in because I still don't believe, even if you come in to say sorry. This could also be, no, my life is really good as it is. And if you come back in and then you get back into my life, it might be, I know it almost like it could make like an entire community of people feel uneasy if they know that somebody has made big mistakes in the past, because it's not just me you have to build trust with, it's everyone in this community, you know? So it could be something like that as well. Sometimes the actions people take have repercussions that go beyond just one individual interaction, but also affect an entire community. So we have, it's also, is someone hoping that they can, you know, like get someone to give them an audience so they can say, look, I've changed a ton, you know, and I'm not happy unless I know that I have your approval, because that will allow me to be more accepted by the rest of a big group. We do have still some conflict in this. Everyone is trying to get to a place of peace, which is what every human's trying to do, right? Let's get to a place of peace. And this is a very difficult situation, because it's about how do we move forward? Again, we have a Queen of Swords, and we've got that Ace of Circles in the reverse, which is like the Ace of Pentacles. I gotta say, you know what? There is no gentle way to say this in this storyline. The answer is, we don't start over, but we do get to move forward. She may be reacting by saying, look, someone has kind of burned a bridge with me. They just simply have, but they need to move forward. Okay, they're a different person now. That's wonderful. A different person is going to live a different quality life now, and them trespassing in my life is not even something they're going to need to think back to anymore, because they're not going to do that to anybody else anymore. They're moving forward. So good for them. I send them onward with good vibes, but do I need to have a rehash with them? Do I need to have a do-over? Do we need to hug it out? No, we do not. Good for them. I want them to move forward. So moving on instead of having a do-over. That's what it looks like. We still have a resolute Queen of Swords who says, look, I don't need to make somebody else feel better. I'm glad they've changed. They changed for them so their life can get better. That is excellent, but that does not mean that I am now the person required to give them what they need to feel good about themselves. If they've changed, they're going to spend, maybe their regret is important, because it'll keep them on that path of saying, I never want to feel that regret with anybody else. I still regret the way I treated this queen. I need to always set my sights on being a better person and keep striving to be the best person I can. And I almost feel like, because she's like waving bye-bye here, going, that's awesome. Good for you. But I'm not here to listen to whatever you need to tell me about how you're such a different person now. And I'm not here to make sure that you can be happy because you've changed and to absolve you from any guilt, because guilt has an important role to play in this life. It lets us know when we've done wrong, and that can be one of our most powerful motivators to do better. So I feel like this is a tough love, like mom energy, or someone who she's not unforgiving because she's always in the upright. This is somebody who's actually loving, who says, yeah, that's great, but you still can't come here. You know, yeah, it's great that you've changed, but no, you can't come over. Yes, I'm glad you're moving forward with life, but no, we're not going to go out to lunch and hang out. You know, there's things that have changed, but I'm glad you've changed too. That means as you move onward, you're going to keep doing better. And you know what? I want to believe that you're going to keep doing better. Good for you. It's that kind of energy on this, right? There is I would just say this is cause and effect. This is a storyline of cause and effect. So someone is really holding their boundaries with a character. I know this isn't a fluffy and happy storyline, but what is the purpose of this storyline, right? Sorry, and this is a long one too, and we just kind of keep seeing that no. The answer is no. The purpose of this is that sometimes things are over because the whole lesson has been complete. That chapter has been written, and we can, maybe not even just a chapter. It could be, think of this like a mini series, right? Sometimes we have a character who, you know, causes intrigue, and they're a big part of, you know, heck, maybe sometimes they're a total villain, and then the villain has a change of heart, but we still at some point are writing that character out of the story, and then the miniseries continues and we introduce new characters. I feel like that's what this is. This was no, we're writing that character right on out of our lives. Now, that can sound really harsh, but everything here says no, because it's all about moving on. She's waving bye-bye, not in any angry way, and their duty is to move forward and be better. They need to go write their life story as a more balanced individual who has transformed, who is not satisfied with how they behaved in the past, who has a ton of regrets because they've been enlightened and now they have to go do better. But they can't do better by simply coming in and getting a pat on the head to say, good job, you did good. You hurt me a bunch, you did a bunch of bad stuff, but now you're sorry. Good job. It's not about being sorry. It's about being better. That's what this story is, and that's the attitude of the queen. That's why she's saying, no, you get to move on. We're done, but you get to move on and be a better person. And I'm glad that that's what you're going to go do. But no, we're not going to hug it out. We're good. So it is about accepting an ending. 5 of Cups in the reverse, and that is the proper ending. There now that dissatisfaction, that disappointment is actually over, because they realize you really aren't harboring anything against me, but you really are sending me onward because you're telling me what I really needed to hear, which is you're sorry. That's great, but don't be sorry for me. Get out there and do better with your life. I feel like this queen is like, go forward and prove to the rest of the world that you're a different person. Treat everybody else better than what I saw of you. I hope you do that. But our storyline is done here. So this is very much a goodbye of the most satisfying variety, and it actually wipes away the disappointment for that person. They realize that that is their sense of, they're not having to feel horrible that they hurt that queen. They're realizing the queen said, you didn't hurt me. You never had the power to. What you did is you did something that wasn't right. And that's why I said you can't be around anymore. And now that you don't want to do things wrong anymore, that's awesome. But you got to go be a better version of you somewhere else now. They realize that is the absolution that they needed. Did I say that word right? They needed to absolve themselves. And this did it. Not because it was like, oh yeah, you get second chances, but because they've been held accountable and they actually are more determined than ever to move forward in their life and do better. It's interesting how sometimes holding characters accountable that is what results in them really moving into being a stronger person, a better person, not necessarily to give huggy buggies and everything's going to be okay. It's like, oh, good. So you're going to be a better person. Good for you. No, I don't need your apology. Nope, we don't need to see each other. But I hope that you do go forward and you be better in your whole life and everything that you do. I hope you treat everybody better than what you used to. I hope you really mean it. I hope you really turn your life around. That's up to you. Like, that's the Queen of Swords attitude. It's on you. And I do hope you do better, but it's not my business. And I don't need to know what you do because it's not my business. You are the one who's accountable for your own actions, and that'll determine who stays in your life and who doesn't. I feel like this Queen of Swords was like the best teacher ever, especially because they felt so much guilt about it, but she still didn't give them a pass. She instead helped them learn something important about choices. It's all about personal choice. The things that we do in life matter. So do your best. That's amazing. Final message, 6 of Staves. Everybody's a winner, baby. That's no lie. Everybody walks out feeling more respected, actually, in a very interesting way. These two characters, she knows that she's actually truly been respected. They also know that she really does hope that they become better, but she's not going to pull any punches for them. She held them so accountable that actually showed that she respects them enough to know that they can do better. That is an amazing twist in this storyline. I don't know what this was all about necessarily, but it was certainly about giving someone the respect to not treat them like they are damaged goods, but instead to say, well, you made mistakes. Yeah, everybody makes mistakes. And it doesn't mean that you just get to have do-overs. It does mean that once you screw up badly, you better be responsible enough to learn from those mistakes, and then you go out and you do better. I feel like this is like the tough love from a mother energy, but it might have been this could have been between lovers. This could have been between siblings. This could have been from, mother to child, father to child. But the bottom line is, they feel more respected by this queen because she didn't cut them any slack. Interesting story, right? Okay, weigh in. Let me know, what do you guys think of this storyline? What do you think of the characters? What do you think of all of that? Does that make any sense? Remember, it's always fictional. I don't tell any stories about real people. I don't know what's right or what's wrong. These are fictional stories. I don't get to pick what story pops out. I only read based off of whatever cards shuffle out. So I try to piece the storyline together as best I can. So there's lots of different interpretations, but again, I can only work with the cards that are actually present. So I love to hear what your guys' thoughts are on the characters, if any of that makes sense. But just remember, don't take it personal. I don't give life advice. I don't tell you how life should go. I'm not speaking about you. I hope that makes it more fun as I frame my art in that context. So then you can listen to this and you can enjoy it for what it is, which is just art. It's not me sassing you, telling you how to live your life or telling you how life's supposed to go. I don't know how life's supposed to go. I just read fictional stories, but I did actually really enjoy the message on this one. But I guess I probably have a mom that always gave me tough love too. So that could well have been like my mom as that Queen of Swords in there. So maybe that's why I was like, oh, I get that. I enjoy that. But that's just my perspective. All right, you guys, take care. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for liking, sharing, subscribing, all that jazz. Bye.